Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to another Genshin Impact leaks, updates, and news video. I know I've been pushing these out a lot lately, but it's really not my fault. Just blame it on Xenia. They keep posting consistently and they're delivering pretty much every single day news about the 1.1 beta and what's going to be coming out. So it's not really my fault. Blame it on them. So moving on to some of the things that I didn't cover earlier. In the last video. So I think shortly after I made it, which seems to be a pretty consistent thing as well, is that there's just more stuff coming out. So this morning, Xenia had posted about a Q&A, another second Q&A that addressed some issues. So there's that. There's been some item confirmations. What looks like possibly a little bit more info. I mean, it's not really info, but a little bit more into the Unreturned Star event. And just a little bit of things to look into that I think is rather exciting. So without further ado, let's just jump into the Q&A first. We're just going to read what Xenia had posted because honestly, that's all we can do. They didn't provide a link, but they did allow us to, they posted, so we get to read it. Basically, it looks like there's going to be mini social events that will be introduced, an ability to disable the auto camera that is being worked on. I don't really know what the auto camera is because I don't think it's in the game yet. I think it just, you'll be able to disable it once it is in the game. If it is in the game, I don't know what this is referring to, unless it's like when you're looking under and you're climbing up a mountain or something. I don't know. Extra XP when upgrading equipment will be returned, which that's big. That's massive, actually. That's something that, again, I don't really know how they're going to do that. I assume it's going to be into little gemstones, but I guess we'll have to see how they cover that. The ability to report players in multiplayer, I guess if people are griefing and stealing all of your items. That's the only thing I can think of again. And keyboard controller remapping. This is huge. This is something that I figured should have been in the game. Like day one, I realized that you weren't able to do that because they have that vision thing where you have to press in on the mouse wheel. And I wanted to change it to one of my side buttons and I wasn't able to. But I'm kind of glad to know that it's there. Also, I think people with controllers, you have to press circle to like confirm, while X is like to back out. It's really weird. I guess if if you're using like a PlayStation controller. Also, it looks like they're allowing expedition characters to be used now. I mean, I think that kind of breaks immersion a bit, but I guess it's a bonus for people that, want to use their characters, but also send them out because maybe they have a skill or a passive talent that will give them resources quicker or something. I guess there's also some quality of life changes coming. So you'll be able to lock your weapons and artifacts. I don't really know like the purpose of this. I haven't really played with having separate like multiple parties, so I'm assuming that's what that is referring to. Also an encyclopedia for monsters, animals, and plants. That's big, very necessary, and definitely something that I'm really excited that's coming. We've already talked about the compass that can detect the Animalculus and Geoculus, so that's awesome. You'll be able to use food and healing items faster. This actually does get expanded on. That was part of the leak that happened today, so we will be able to look at that again. And then I guess there was some fixes for things with elemental reactions for water and lightning. I don't know what's bugged there, but I guess something is. There's going to be a fix for Lisa's attack that is sometimes unable to inflict elemental reactions. I actually don't use Lisa. I know, again, a lot of people like her. She's not for me. Bug all around elemental reactions will be addressed. I don't know what bugs there are, so I'm interested to see what this is referring to. And fix for the low damage on overloaded reaction. So I guess overloaded is not doing as much damage as it's supposed to. Moving on over to the other leak that came out, there's a few of these things, but this is that waypoint that we were talking about in one of the previous videos. It actually works differently than I thought, and I don't know how I feel about it. I guess it's just a personal teleportation structure. I was kind of hoping that it was going to be something that you can just put on your map and then it will show it being there and like how you can do navigation to quests and stuff, and it would be something similar to that, but I guess it's not really how it works. So instead it's going to be a man-made prop that resembles a teleportation structure. You can place this anywhere in the open world, and by doing so you can now create a portable waypoint and can teleport there as long as it is there. So I'm assuming you can pick it back up and then you can go and place it somewhere else. Maybe it's a one-time thing, or like you can only have one at a time and then you'll have to pick up another one, or maybe they'll give a few. I guess we don't really know at the moment. We also have this wind spirit catcher item, another new item. This one we actually did not talk about in the leaks at all, but this one is a practical prompt that can seal in the wind spirits using the wind energy that can generate a wind field anywhere. This is, I guess, pretty good, especially if you're not going to get a venti, because you literally just have to bottle a few of these babies and then boom, you got a tornado that you can use to go up in the air. So I think this is going to be a very useful item, especially to get those annoying pesky little Animalculus and Geoculus that are kind of in hard to reach places, you can now take these with you and then go use them somewhere else. So I'm sure a lot of people who don't have Venti will be very happy that this is there. We also now have an item called Concentrated Resin, which looks like it's just going to be able to store the resin that you have with an item, and then you can use it later. So maybe if you're not one of those people who plays on a daily basis, you could store up your resin, and then, or if you don't have a lot of time, but you know that you're going to have maxed out resin soon, or you can't play that day because of work, I don't know, you know, you can store your resin and then use it later. So it looks like one of these and 40 of these will give you one of these concentrated resins, which then you can use at a later time. But what they basically said was, by combining these materials, it will create concentrated resin. With this, you can refresh your resin anytime. Basically, if you're too busy, create this item and use it at a different time when you're free to grind. Some people are complaining that it's not really like going to be useful for them, but I could definitely see this being something that people are going to be happy about, especially if you know, aren't able to play 24/7. So this is a big. I'm actually pretty happy about this, despite me never having full resin. I know this is going to be a good thing for the community in general. So this portable nutrition bag is another new item coming. If you remember, we just talked about in that little Q&A that you'll be able to store items for food and be able to eat them a little bit quicker. That's what this is. So what this does is a special prop designed by a certain alchemist. The portable bag prepares dishes in together and can be eaten quickly. Click on the empty slot. You can add in 2 different foods to be eaten whenever. This is going to allow you to, I guess you could mix some things like they did here, revive and then health, which will then let you revive with a lot more health, I would assume. So that also is another very useful item that will be coming in 1.1. Overall, this 1.1 update just seems super quality of life improvements. There's a whole bunch of things coming in that we kind of needed, and I could definitely see this being a pretty big update. And I'm really curious what else is going to come out in 1.2 and 1.3, because I can't think of things that we need at the moment. Like they're covering everything. Looks like we got a little bit more news on the gliding challenge. It looks like you'll be able to participate in the challenge and collect as much emblems as you can to receive higher points, win medals, and obtain various rewards. Obviously, they're not showing that you're able to get primogems here. I really hope that since this is an event, you can, but who knows? I'm gonna assume there's way better rewards than just these 2 items here. So fingers crossed that we do end up getting primogems as a reward, because we know we all need them. At least all my free-to-play brothers like me, we need them. So please reward us for playing the game with more primogems. Not that the company hasn't really been doing that. MiHoYo has been phenomenal with giving out gems, but if you're gonna do events like this, please give us more gems. We need them. Another thing, ZD had said this time that this context of this photo is unknown. However, it does have Mona on it. It says 1 is the unknown star, 2 says the dream star, and 3 says the predestined star. This is all of the leaks that they have for now. So I'm just gonna assume that while the last photo was the gliding challenge, this is definitely that unreturned star event. This has something to do with it. Do I see us getting a free Mona? No, I don't. We know that we're getting a free official though. If we get a free Mona, I will be so happy, but I don't really see it happening. Obviously, there's no other info other than this, which just looks like it's maybe different levels of challenges or something. Who knows? Again, we have no context, but there is a little bit more evidence behind the event. I know some people are questioning whether these things are real. I don't know. I don't know why you have to question that anymore. Zenith is just consistently delivering. None of this can. I don't think any of this is faked, man. So yeah, that's really all we have to cover for today. We got some quality of life improvements at Q&A, what they talked about in the Q&A, some events and new items that we got a little bit more descriptions on. So hopefully this helped you stay more informed with Genshin Impact. If it did, it would mean a lot if you hit that like button or hit the sub, as I'm posting pretty consistently whenever these leaks or updates are coming out. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Man, what did I tell you? Literally as I'm editing, this happens every single time. Zenith just keeps delivering even more leaks. I had already waited 30 minutes to even record the video in hopes that maybe he was gonna deliver some more leaks and I just wasn't gonna miss it, but it just turns out that I can't avoid it no matter what. Whenever I start editing, just more leaks happen. Anyways, these are actually spoilery leaks, so I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit of a warning beforehand before I end up showing them. It's nothing too bad, but it is, again, something that you maybe don't want to see yet because it is related to the story. So it looks like here, again, I did show this off in the last video and I didn't really give the warning of it being a spoiler, but I guess I should have. But it does look like we'll be able to fight Childe. Here's a little boss fight. You do get to see him in his final form here. He looks sick. I'm telling you, I want this character. The more I see him, the more I want him. He looks great. I really want him. I hope I pull him. But here we go. You get to see the little bit of a little bit of the fight, and it says in the tweet here we can see Childe in his final form, glimpse of tradable rewards in the event shop, and there are more, but that's all for the leak that shows. So here's a little bit of update on some of the tradable items, it looks like. And then there's this. Don't really know the significance of this, but apparently he's wearing a Wii mask. I don't know if I said that right, but hopefully I did. Again, the video is now over. Sorry, but I just felt like including this. Maybe there'll be even another leak right after this. Who knows?